Family, thank you for joining me here at the American News Network with Chris Sanders as I stream live from Washington, D.C., getting updates exactly right from the Senate, Congress, and our president as it's happening. So Elon Musk had a problem with the president. I'm pretty sure that had to deal with nothing with what we're thinking. It was when he crossed sides and worked with Big Pharma, reinactivating, challenging the hemp amendment in Dana Rohrabacher's Act so that he could disassemble all the medical marijuana facilities throughout the United States. Simultaneously, we have war kicking off. World War III, Operation Midnight Hammer has exploded. I'd like to ask the people of California, are you rioting because of ICE? Or are you rioting because of the war in Iran? I say this because there's 700,000 Iranians that live in California. They own most of Beverly Hills. 39 million Californians, 1 out of 55 people in California are from Iran. Are you going to do what you did back in World War II, California, and just go up and round up all the Iranians and steal their property and throw them in a concentration camp? Because that's the direction we're going, America. Yeah, I'm seeing war, I'm seeing discernment, I'm seeing politicians that are violating the Constitution by inciting the Incite to Riot Act. And I want you to know that Operation Midnight Hammer might have been a success, but it might not. These are satellite images that I'm going to be showing you. This is our mock of the Peregrine Falcon, our B-2, as she drops 2 bunker busters per aircraft. So we had 3 of them go out and do some bombing. And I ask you, are our problems with the people of Iran? Because I don't think they are. I think that our problem is with the Ayatollah, a radical system that, believe it or not, we instilled that radical system in Iran back in 1979 when we did the same type of stuff we're doing today as the world's police state, and we leave countries in shambles. And then as they build themselves back up, we crush them. Now, is this a good way to keep in control? Are we going to take everybody from Iran and are we going to put them in concentration camps, or are we going to address the 30 million illegal aliens that we got in here? Now, what is Iran basically making their munitions for? I'll let you know it's not about peace. It's far from it. And when you're sitting on 12% of the world's oil and 92 million people live there, your only reason for doing nuclear stuff is basically to blow up Israel. But then again, if Israel was my next door neighbor, how would I respond as well? And is it America's job to believe the Zionists with their anti-Semitic spiel when none of them are Semitic people? You see, I'm saying that we're getting dragged into the Ukrainian war. I'm saying that we're getting dragged into the Israeli war. And they share something in common. What do they share in common, Chris? Well, the Ukraine is Jewish Russia. Watch Fiddler on the Roof, like I said. And as far as Israel and Ashkenazi Jews, in the book of Esther, 586 BC, we have King Nebuchadnezzar, and he marries Esther, and Mordecai saves his life in the Jewish Empire. And we have 303 Israelis moved north into Russia. There they integrated with Russians, with Germans, and they became what is known today as Ashkenazi Jews. Now, they've been kicked out of everywhere they've gone. Even in 1492, they were kicked out of Spain again because of the same stuff we're facing today. And time again, they asked the Christians, and they aligned themselves, or tried to, with the Christians when, believe it or not, if you read the Bible, Christians, Jews don't believe in Christ. They think he's a myth. They created the Catholic Church. It was later on even that Muhammad created Islam because they created a cult based off of faith. Now, Christians cannot say that they don't like Jews because the person that has saved us is in fact a Jew. But he was prosecuted by his own people. And today, that remnant that's not even the remnant of Israel has come back. Revelation 2:9-9, when a synagogue of Satan shall return and pretend that they are Jews, but they are not. Now, is the Bible telling the truth? Or is CNN and Fox and Trump and all of our administration and Ted Cruz, are they telling the truth? I would like to know, should we believe in the Bible or our politicians? Because we're going after a country that believes in God probably even more than we do these days. You see, when I see this libtard, woke-tard agenda going across America, don't tell me that we have Christ in our country. You see that rainbow flag? That's my flag as a Christian. Don't steal it from me. Take your pastel, free Palestine flag. But I think that you're denigrating the people of Palestine and Muslims at the same time, and understand we've had it with all of you. You see, we're going to unite the fathers of faith. Because when I talk to a real Jew, not a Zionist, or a Muslim, or a Hindu, or a Christian, we all don't want this alphabet soup anywhere near our children. And they've divided us on weaponry, they've divided us on faith, and in the end, they've stolen our country. And I've had it, and I hope you have too. Now, we use the Moab, mother of all bombs. People say to me, hey, Chris, how long has this been around? What are you doing? And I'll let you know. We've got a series of them. I remember when I was a kid, I was loading up bombs that were older than I was, made from very old era Vietnam days. Basically a big aerosol canister pushed out of the back of AC-130, parachute it down, suck all the oxygen up for about a quarter of a square mile, call it a done day. And it was invented to take out the Viet Cong, but we've gone quite a bit further since then. We got 6 different levels of it. I'm going to show you some of these. Now they're encapsulated, and we've gone from 6 feet to 10 feet to 15, 20, and now we're up to a 20-story building, 200 plus feet deep. And that's what we call the Moab, the mother of all bombs. In the back, you see its guidance system, and it's been getting perfected because obviously we're just monkeys that can't get along with each other. And it's sad, and we got to change our modus operandi, because do we really want to kill our friends and family members worldwide when each of us have family members worldwide? Should we let this gerontocracy keep on separating us and saying, hey, we got to defend the Jews at the cost of the Muslims, and they're asking the Christians for a favor? Well, guess what? Vladimir Putin's a Christian too, and he's had enough of this crap, and so have I. And I'm sick of our politicians, this gerontocracy. What is gerontocracy, Chris? Well, that's 80-year-old geritol taking feeble people that are running our country into the dirt. Only thing that's going to save us from these bunker busters, it's called term limitations, 4-year term limitations, and we got to get lobbying, we got to get Israel, the Ukraine, and all these Jewish bankers out of our Congress, or we're going to keep on being a destructive menace to the world. Oh, and it's not just the military they want to own. Nope. It's more than that. It's the drug pharmaceutical companies. That's why they're going after it all, and they need those other angles so that they can get the munitions to stay in war, so that they can be evil. Yeah. I'm not going to fall for any of this stuff, and I hope you don't either. That's why I don't have commercials, because they can't buy me. If you want to help out, I'll tell you what I'm doing. Drill, baby, drill. That's for the accredited investors. The other thing I started is American-made bullets. I'm going to make sure that ICE and all of our police officers can have free rounds on me. If you're an oil and gas producer out there and like to stockpile up on your sulfur for us here at home, please contact us. Also, if you have coal and other elements that we can use to protect ourselves here at home, that's what we got to start doing. And we have to start doing it quickly, because this war is upon us right now. So we have this Iranian strike, and we have things going. And we have little kids and turd balls that are basically entitled, spoiled brats that are frothing at the bit to destroy us daily. And I don't care who you married. If you're evil, you're evil. 666. Mark of the beast. I don't know why Jared Kushner bought this building for over $1 billion way back in the day. But now he's married Ivanka. He wears his yarmulke. He's going there, and with the help of Netanyahu and owning our president, we're going to World War III. Operation Midnight Hammer. But wait a second. Weren't we supposed to be on a pathway to peace? Like peace. Isn't that what we voted for? Well, yes, Chris, but it was either the pathway to peace and a smokescreen or a stolen government with the libtard heels up Harris who nobody invested or voted for. I wish I had more confidence in us today than I do, but I don't. And I think that we're all feeling the same way. We have interesting things going on. I just really, though, wanted to picture this and have this sit in, Jared Kushner's Building 666. And what is it about? And should we be concerned? So there's a lot of different things here, but I want you to see some other things that were not taught, because I saw Tucker Carlson and Ted Cruz on TV, and of course Ted Cruz didn't know the population of Iran or the faith or the division of it. Sad. I like you, Ted, but I want a free country. Operation Midnight Hammer. We hit Fordo, Natanz, and Esfahan. Fordo was emptied out. We now know that. It was basically an ineffective strike mission because you talk. You talk. Loose lips sink ships. They moved the stuff, and we basically hit an empty mountain. We know that from seismic and how we didn't detonate nuclear radioactive materials this time. Congratulations, media, and being a talk box. That's why you haven't heard from me, because that's one thing I don't do, is divulge information that would be detrimental to the safety or our mission. Mission failure. We're woke. We look like crap. And we've got not just 12, but 43 countries we're at war with. I ask you, then how many Americans does that add up to? And it's damn near 45% of our population. Do you really think that this is going to be a successful World War III? Okay, now our parade, it looked like just a total mess, and wanted me to go into DI mode, and I couldn't even stream any of it. These guys can't even march. We just also had a SpaceX explosion. Ship 36 exploded, and I'm wondering if that's just Elon Musk's way of saying, hey, if you want to disrespect me, you guys can't go into outer space. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. Who do you want to disrespect? I think our government disrespects MBS. We got the Jamal Khashoggi sign in front of the Saudi Arabian embassy here in D.C. How retarded can you get? Then you basically have Elon Musk help you out the whole entire way, and then you basically take a dump all over his company. That shows American innovation right there. How about all the Bitcoin millionaires and billionaires that back him? How about all the younger generation that you basically stole by being nice and then turning your coat? Well, what I'm telling you is all those factors have dragged our popularity down into the dirt while we go into a world war, and these are just facts. 6 Moabs, Fordo was empty. Operation Midnight Hammer was not a success, but it did help us violate a line in the sand. Kind of reminds me of an old story. There was a woman and a man, and they were caught in adultery, in the act of adultery, and they got Jesus, and they said, judge this crime. He put a line in the sand. And he said, let he who hath not sinned cast the first stone. And starting with the oldest, they left first. You see, the older we get, the more we realize that we have sinned. And I think that's why we try to elect somebody that is older, so that they can use that justification and that knowledge in life, so that they make decisions that are great for society. And I think those are real things. And we need to do those things, and we need to do those things more often. And those are just facts. Now, we did 24 Tomahawk cruise missiles, 6 bunker busters, and in the meantime, we ignited World War III. So now we have a direct threat from China and Iran here at the United States, and that's what I wanted to bring to you, but I wanted you to see something else. So the tanks, they moved in, they moved out. But what I want to show you is marching. This is the British marching. You're going to see the British marching here. They're all in step. You're going to see the Russians marching, precision at its finest. Even our high school bands in the United States can march left, right, left. But you know who I noticed can't march? Look at these retards. This is as they're passing the president. We are completely out of step. I was wondering, did you get these rejects from Central Casting? Why couldn't you teach them how to march? I've never really honestly seen something so humiliating in my entire life. Their gig line was off. Their shoelaces were untucked. Their uniforms were completely out of whack. And it seems like nobody in the United States service and armed forces knows how to march anymore. They were going with their guns all out of step. I was worried if I was going to get shot in the audience. They were waving their drones. A guy was waving his drone, and he was obviously a tranny. Look at this. Do you see this march? This is as they're passing the president out of step. Look at this. They are not even on the same foot. Some people, this was the most humiliating crap I've ever seen in my life. I think you need somebody like me that's going to be a true jerk and straighten these guys out, or we're done. If you can't march, well, let me see, how's your shooting going to be? If you can't march, how are these guys supposed to serve their officers, their airplanes, their missiles? They can't do a fundamental thing. And this should scare you to the core. I was watching how we drive our tanks. They suck at driving, just as bad as they suck at marching. So this is the state we're in. I see Russia, how sharp they are. They remind us of me and us in the 80s. No kidding. They have God. They're neat. They're precise. Look at this. Even England, they have their stuff on. But as we pass the president on TV, over 75% of our troops were out of step, looking in the audience, waving their hands. They didn't even know how to march. They didn't know hand positions. It was very upsetting. And I think I'm speaking to the older generation. We know just what a farce this has been. So as far as how we look, well, we don't look good. We don't look good at all. And it's like comparatively, who's stronger now? True, we have good equipment, but Tomahawks don't pass Mach. We got a Moab, that's basically being done by a gravity. And now Vladimir Putin, well, he's sitting on 9 missiles that go from Mach 9 to 15. But we want to act like we're, the leaders of the world. And I'm seeing restraint, and I'm seeing us violate these efforts of restraint. And it's unacceptable. So there you go. Look at this. Look at the precision that we're seeing here. Ask me if it makes me happy to see this. The answer is no, not at all. I'm basically wanting us to look sharp once again, and I'm not seeing it happen. And I'm scared for us. And we're not unified. Our country is basically at war with itself. And that's happening all over. And it's not good. So we're sloppy. And it's showing. And no matter where we go, again, I want you to see the disorderly conduct, the lack of precision, the bravado, everything. And I want this to be a clear message, and you can tell just by how we're represented by just as simply as how we march in unison in the troop. Look at this again. This is passing the president. All of our troops are out of step. It's not even left, right, left. Look at these guys. I want you to notice the foot positions. I want you to see that even our service drill instructors are failing us, and that the leaders that have been established aren't there to protect us. They're there to get a free paycheck, act like they're doing something, because they can't even walk in unison correctly with each other. Now, you can think that this is something that we shouldn't pay attention to, but is it really something we shouldn't pay attention to? And I'm being serious. Why do you say that, Chris? Well, I'm saying that because this guy behind me said some eloquent words, but he's been out of touch. He's been saying radical stuff about America and Israel for a very long time. And I think that we should just concentrate on key religious figures and not populations. We need to concentrate on taking out the Ayatollah, Little Kim, North Korea, Xi Jinping, end communism, come back to freedom. But we can't do that if we're going to be divided. We need to stand in unison with Christian countries. The United States and Russia need to stand together to save Europe. And if Israel wants to survive, that's the only way they can. If there's a unification against them with Russia and China, well, it is because pride doth come before the fall of any good nation. The rainbow flag is a flag to Christians, not to gays. And by doing that, you're inciting and denigrating Christians throughout the world. Mark my words. Now let's pretend you're a kid today, 18 to 21, and you're on the 12% that can serve the country, and all your kids and friends are these woke rejects that are on drugs. Would you want to defend and lose your life for that? I wouldn't. You see, back in my day, we're all healthy. We're a good country, but we let sin in. You give an inch, they take a mile. This isn't just simple sin. This is Big Mike Obama transgender sin. So I'm asking all the parents of the world, the Hindus, the Muslims, the Christians, and the Jews, the real ones, not the Zionists, to defend our children, to take the T in the trans agenda away from our schools. People like that have no place in elementary or high school. They represent Satan, and we damn well know it. You wonder why these Muslim schools are popping up in Texas? Well, I interviewed them. They don't want their kids to be trans indoctrinated, and neither do I. You see, so I wonder what side we stand on. And I myself, I respect people that have God in their life, period. Period. Because we answer to a higher cause. Strait of Hormuz might get shut down because of Iran in this war, and oil will rise. And I want to thank each and every one of you for letting that oil rise, because I am in the oil business, so drill baby drill will be looking extra sharp. And mark my words, it will be. But is Washington, D.C. ready for the war that we might fight? As long as we have aircraft floating in the sky, we have no missile defense system. China's tried this on the West Coast, and Russia has us on the East Coast. And by the time we alert everybody and stop flying our airplanes, I think the bombs will have already been dropped. Missiles such as Sarmat-2 and also Poseidon. And I think I've educated all of us on Poseidon. But while we are risking the sanctity of 700,000 Iranians in California, think about all of them and their families that we're at war with. And if you have a problem, well, then you have a problem with the people in our own country. Where are you from? We're all from somewhere. And should our country just continue to wreak havoc on everywhere that Israel decides? No, I think we need peace. And I think that you need to know the truth about the people in Israel and how they treat Americans, how they treat Christians, and honestly, it's just damn unacceptable. So, for those of you that have forgotten before this war started, I want you to know that Christian evangelicals, Christian, just Christian people, have been basically attacked by Zionistic Jews, the same ones that want us to help them. And they don't show this because the media owns them. So here CBN News is doing a special on how Christians have been assaulted by Israelis, and this is right before the war starts. My question to you in America is, should we continue to defend people that spit on us, that tell us that Jesus is not the Savior of the world? Should we defend people that prosecute and persecute Christians? And keep in mind that it was Christians, when the United Kingdom and the United States got together, it was Christians that believe in Jesus that had the power to collect the remnant, to bring the Jews back home to Israel and to give you that land. And now once again, after 40, 50 years, your hearts are so hard that you can't see the rock that your foundation was built on. These are true things that you should understand, or at least try to, because we all need love. And I'm seeing anything but love right now. And And we need it. We need our love, and we need our love back, and only through Christ do I see this love. So these stories of them being our Ted Cruz, well, you have to support Israel or you're going to go to hell. That doesn't mean the elected president for this term. Understand that. And understand there's been many people that have run against Benjamin Netanyahu, this turd bird, and he's killed them. This is a dictatorship, and in the Old Testament, in the Bible, throughout the Old Testament, there are kings and queens and kings and judges, and every time Israel was run by somebody that didn't have God or followed the law, they lost. And if you take a sentence and you think that you can brainwash all of us Christians based off of that, you're wrong. Some of us are well read. Some of us grandparents will say, no, that's not the case. Israel's lost many wars. Every time they swayed and didn't treat their neighbor the way they wanted to be treated, every time they got like they are today, they lost. So I humbly ask the well-read Christians of the world, look at what they're doing to Christians right here. They're beating us up on the streets of Israel. These are facts I want you to see. They're saying, go home, Christians. Go home, leave our land. No, they're not saying that. Listen. There you go. Go home, they're saying. Go home. So I'm wanting you to see this because they're asking for our help, but look at how they actually treat Christian Americans when we go there, and this is something you need to know.
By the presence of Christians, many of whom did recently take part in a pro-Israel rally at the site that was organized by evangelical groups supportive of Zionism. Now, among those protesters there today was one...
Okay, listen to this. I want you to see the truth in what is going on and the hate that exists there. So not only is the trans agenda on the rise, but so is this. So what we have here are Zionists that are attacking the Christians, the Muslims, and even the Jews. And their leader is Benjamin Netanyahu, and he's so influential and so great, he even owns our Congress and Senate and now our president. So I ask you humbly to stop. I think this war is their war. It's been going on since the days of the seeds of Abraham. I want everybody in America to know that these are relatives. All the Muslims are the seeds of Hagar and Ishmael. And here we have Isaac and Sarah, Jacob, Israel. And should that be the reason for us to falter, read the end of the book of Matthew and John. After Christ was resurrected, even till this day, Jews consider this a lie. That's why they're yelling at us. That's why you're seeing this footage behind me. And it's out of control. And as they become to be more out of control, I want to show you something else. These are Jewish protesters assaulting basically Christian and Messianic believer Christians. And some of these people were cut and slashed by knives in the face by, yes, Jews. I want you to see this. These are the people that we're allies with, okay? I just want America to see the racism from Jews to Christians to blacks to Muslims, and I want you to say that this is okay, and then I want you to somehow then brainwash us all into backing this type of culture, a culture where they're going to spit on our face. Or should we just walk away from it all and say, you've been given the book to read. Treat thy neighbor the way you want to be treated yourself. But above all, love. You see, they had that first part, but the second part came from Jesus Christ, whom they don't believe in. And that is why you see the instability behind you. They're not built on a rock. They rejected that rock. That rock is our foundation. That rock is Christ. When someone loves you so much that they gave their only begotten Son so that you can be saved, and you reject that foundation, you don't have the foundation of a Christian that we do. And I want that to ring loud and clear with people so that they understand how they treat us and that this is damn unacceptable to me. So I love Jews, the real Jews, but I'm seeing Zionists that are attacking Jews, Zionists that are attacking Muslims, Zionists that are attacking Christians. I'm seeing this war spill over here. I'm seeing it from California to Washington, D.C., and it's because somebody is not loving their neighbors the way they want to be loved themselves. And you can't ask the American people to stand up for what is straight out racism and hate. What is racism? Racism is something where they can't even interbreed with you because they think you're so scum that they call you a dog and can rape your children. What is the synagogue of Satan? Well, did you know in California, if you're a child molester and you're Jewish, you can escape to Israel? And that many have? Oh yeah, they got thousands of child molesters hiding out there. Don't ask Jeffrey Epstein about it. Don't ask Weinstein. When I get back to 9/11, there was a guy named Silverstein, but we blamed Osama bin Laden, but Silverstein made money and demolished Building 7. Do you really think none of us know about this? Do you really think that we're going to swallow this crap forever? Because I don't. I don't at all. I know Silverstein was the architect. We all do. We can thank Michael Moore. I was a first responder. I saw the cut lines. You killed us. And from that day on, the Zionists have been sucking us dry like a vampire. Then what is Epstein Island? Oh, I'll tell you what it is. It's a place where they collect information on our pedophile politicians so that they can blackmail us and lobby us and do the wars that we're doing right now. So if you think this is okay, keep it up, Skippy. But you know who they're not blackmailing are Muslims because they're not as, perverted most of the time. They seem to be getting our old politicians that have been getting bored, and that's why, again, term limitations, 8 years, then you're out. Also, we need to start a national law with the Supreme Court. They're not going to do it. We as the people of the United States need to do it. Just by the fact that they can hold office until they die, like Ruth Bader Ginsburg, just the fact that they can sit in there until death is obvious proof that they've abused the law for the judicial branch. Therefore, I'm asking humbly that the people of America sign a petition to create a law to where there's no judge in any position that can have that position for more than 8 years, period. Because we have judges, simple judges, that think they're more powerful than the executive branch of the United States. And we can't have judges any judge thinking that they have the right of the President of the United States. That would have to be all of the judges in the whole judicial department would equal the President. So they have finagled and they have dismantled checks and balances. They have created a Gestapo to where now the judicial system runs the world with our politicians. And what we saw last time with the legislative and judicial branch was where they stole an election. They stole our money. They used the Ukraine as a laundromat, and today it's Israel at the cost of human lives and freedom. We have to stop being a police state. The only way we can do it is term limitations. We have to stop defending these ridiculous wars because it's only our politicians that are creating it. True, I believe that we should free Iran right now because they're unstable. We need to have a government system in there that they could respect because before 1979, before we got involved, they were just like Europe. What if I told you Africa was way more free before 1965, and it wasn't until Carter took the power away from our CIA to go in and haphazardly kill people did that change us and how we act in retaliatory measures with the United States of America. Most of you are too young to remember or know about this. But these are basically things that are going on, and I want you to know we had another explosion. I want you to know that I believe that we're in big trouble with the military. And it was shocking to me when I did see Ted Cruz and Tucker Carlson, and the questions and the responses were unacceptable. I am tired of brainwashed politicians on both sides telling us that we need to have a war with the nation, when we only need to have a war with the radical leader. And religious leaders sometimes get out of control, but what we're allowing Israel to do, and the Zionists, is we're allowing them to unify 2 billion Muslims at the cost of the United States and Israel combined. We need to pray that Israel can elect an actual president that is not a war hero, that is not a jackwagon Joe Biden on his way out just trying to grasp at straws to stay in power when he really shouldn't have any power at all. And I'm talking about Benjamin Netanyahu. I don't want him controlling the United States Navy, Air Force, or Marines, or our battle plans. Can you ask me why he is? Have we been purchased that strongly to where our president can tell us that he's going to be elected because of a pathway to peace while we're going into World War III with Operation Midnight Hammer? Iran demands the Strait of Hormuz to be closed. Oil will be on the rise. To me, that's music to my ears with Drill Baby Drill. I hope it hits $300 a barrel. If you have an operator to take over, contact me at americadrillbabydrill.com or find the Drill Baby Drill link. If you have leases, oil, gas, and mineral leases that are anywhere between 87.5% net revenue and 80%, give me a call to review it so that maybe we can accept it or not respect it. We can either turn you down or sign you up, because we're here to make America great again, make America strong again. The only way I'm going to do that is if I drill, and I got to drill like crazy because war is on the horizon, and it's nothing that I want at all. But when Iran demands the Strait of Hormuz to be closed, I know what's up and I know what's next. So these are some facts that I want you to understand. A lot of people doesn't know this, but Venezuela's got the most oil, next Saudi Arabia, then Canada, then Iran. And they go from 10 to 12% of the world's oil. Now, America, we're sitting down at 11%, but we're actually so much better at it that we can basically outproduce them in any way possible. So we have a lot of countries ahead of us: Nigeria, Libya, Russia, UAE, Kuwait, Iraq, Iran, Canada, Saudi, and Venezuela. And that's what this is all over. Oil and gas. Welcome to my world. And I knew as a kid that's what we were fighting. I knew that when we were doing Iraq, it was a lie. Just like I know today that this whole entire war is a lie. And it's based off of how we brainwash each other, how we hoard the water, how we hoard the oil, how we try to identify as ourselves as different somehow, whether it's spiritual, whether it's racial, whether it's religious, when in America we prove every day that we can triumph and win based off of love. And that's just a fact. Anyways, love each and every one of you. I'll be reporting live later on today at the Capitol. A lot of my friends said leave the Capitol, and understand I'm not a runner. If you get worried you need to move, please do move. And if I've saved 2 lives, if I just saved 2 lives, then I've saved my life, because I love you. God bless each and every one of you. Thank you for joining me here at the American News Network with Chris Sanders. That's Major News Network on all Apple apps, Google apps, PlayStations, phones. Just type Major News Network. We're also on all on and Roku TVs. And I'm just going to try to keep us safe. I'm going to push forward to peace. I'm going to make sure American-made bullets is in the hands of ICE agents, so that we can get the illegal aliens out of the United States. And the illegal aliens, to me, are not Iranian citizens, nor were they Japanese citizens, nor were they black citizens, nor were they Native Americans. It is time for us to treat our neighbor the way we want to be treated ourselves. In the name of Jesus Christ, amen. God bless each and every one of you.